Live. One, like I always said, I think I said it last time, I was going to trust myself. I'm going to trust myself. I'm going to trust that everything is working without listening to the audio. I'm going to trust it. I see decibels. I see a movement. We're going to go with it. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome everybody. Welcome. Another edition. Like Moto Ali said, 3 weeks. You know, every 3 weeks it flies by. I got Motobomb Virginia, Lucky Aces riding. Good evening. Hello. Howdy, folks. I've got y'all on the docket, y'all on the agenda today for sure. I'm actually some really cool news about that. We know, not everybody knows, but that's going to be a lot of fun. But heart rate was up a little bit for some reason. Last time it wasn't. 3 weeks ago, I was pretty good. This time, for whatever reason, heart rate was elevated, and I joked that I could run into the cliche of running into a burning building, ride a motorcycle, drive down the road, weaving in and out, going to cardiac arrest, and my heart rate is like the same. If it's elevated, it's because I ran into the truck and working on some cardio stuff. But realistically, like, this is a thing that like stresses me out and weirds me out. So that is a terrible example about how fun live streams are. Lucky Aces riding. Lucky, every time you talk about kind of hinting at live streaming, and then here I am talking about how like nerve-wracking it is for me. Just for me. You'll have a good time, man. But welcome to another edition of Beyond the Ride, episode 6. And it's pretty cool because going back to, y'all know the previous channel, going back to the firefighter channel, I want to say it was like, 11 episodes of this. So, I mean, once they're every 3 weeks, so there's still quite a bit of time, calendar time that passes. But in general, we're catching up. We're catching back up to the old, and I'm on episode, I think, 28 for the channel, which is another thing that's kind of just, they're just kind of like flying by. And I do things different, and I mentioned before, I don't have a schedule, so I post probably, my average is maybe every 5 days or so. So that definitely is another reason why I'm catching up, as opposed to like 7 days. Do a little this, show the little logo, brand loyalty, right? Flavor loyalty. Anyway, I have I started a collection. People collect. I wasn't even going to talk about it. I just talk about random stuff to start off the day, right? I have a collection. Everybody's collecting things that appreciate value, right? Here I am collecting every monster that I've ever drank. So that's going to be behind me eventually down the road. So I've got a collection of cans, full cans too. One day they'll all leak at the same time. Not fond of solo streaming either. Yeah. Well, Moto Bomb, you don't have to worry about that. You've got so many people, which is it's so cool to see. And I don't always get to see, like, that's a different topic. You stream at 9:30 in the morning, and I used to sleep through the mornings when I didn't go to work, or I'd come home and pass out after not sleeping at work through the night. And so I miss like a lot of it. I remember coming on a couple times right when you're ending. But with Nicole, my wife, with her working day shift now, it's like I woke up today and it was early. I was like, man, what in the world? Went to bed early. No more like 5 in the morning. I'm like, man, who am I? What is happening here? So, but appreciate y'all. Like I said, I will always mention y'all. I appreciate y'all showing up and listening to a madman rant. Shenanigans, the shenanigans that you bring in the chat makes this all worth it. To be truthful, I always come up with it, and I have this disclaimer. If nobody has to show up, nobody, you're not gonna hurt my feelings and stuff. And I have a set of topics that I want to discuss, an instant action plan, if you would. But if nobody shows up, I'm still going to go through that. I'm still going to talk to myself through a camera. But I appreciate y'all, showing up and engaging and all that stuff. Don't have to, but I appreciate it. Everybody's been very, very active. I've been inactive as far as I caught up a little bit a lot yesterday. I caught up to some videos. I remember Spoke to the Eye's got one. Spoke to the Eye Moto's got one video that I saw that was like 4 days old. This last week, it's been insane at work. It's been crazy. It's back to the old days, the old wild west. Geez, like Lucky, you and I, between texts, I think last shift for me, that was Monday, and it was like not to get into like the details of it, but it was multiple shootings and all that stuff. It was wild. It was wild. So I was in the middle. I think I got your text when I was coming back from the hospital, and just it's just all nights, man, all nighters. And it's so the biggest trigger that somebody can say, like a patient that you pick up to take to the hospital, is not like a serious like chest pain or stroke out or stroke alert or difficulty breathing or something like that. It's just something that it'll be like BLS, the most BLS thing, and they'll say, oh, I just couldn't sleep, and it's a problem that's been going on for like days or weeks, and then it's like 3 a.m. I couldn't sleep, and you're like, you're telling me, right? So it's funny. There is a lot of, if you let it, there's a lot of humor in some of these calls that aren't the serious calls. There's a lot of humor. So really depends on who you're with on the medic or on the engine or who you're stationed with. It's all about the company, which exactly what I'm talking about here. So let's see what we got. Glad to be seen. Yeah. Good to see you. Glad to be seen. I'm not fond of solo streaming either. Yeah, like I said, you don't have to worry about that. You got plenty of people. I don't know how you keep up with all that, because when I do my I guess podcast, if I guess we'll call it a podcast nowadays, I've met in person with Lucky, and then the first two originally were Restless Mule and Moto Alley, which that's another topic. Maybe the next live stream kind of get into that, but I try to release those every 3-4 months or something. And Moto Alley, which it's Moto Alley CA, like Canada. Or maybe he changed it. I'm confused. You have to actually. The Playback King will watch this. If you don't mind, I never asked for comments, but if you don't mind leaving a comment and then saying your name, because your name will pop up, but your handle, I guess, is different or something. It was like Moto Alley CA, which I assume would be Canada. But then I swear I just saw you as Moto Alley, and it's flip flop. So I don't know. I'm easily confused. So it may just be me, but maybe that's another video, a short video, since I saw you had a post to bring people over, just to clarify everything, because I think that for me, I'm a little confused, which is, we'll leave it alone. That's probably just me. Yeah, one heck of a day. I mean, it was so we worked Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Monday, 24 hours. So it's 24. Well, it's 4 out of 7 days, and we are just it's back to the old days. Yeah, I was tired. Ain't gonna lie. I'm not. I've been at the same station for 20 years. 20 years ago, not nearly as bad, but then again, these don't even. They don't do anything. Nothing for me. I can take it. That's what we say at work. I can take it. I can handle it. Or I deserve it. We deserve it. All right. I think I had an open book, but I can't remember what I was talking about either. Maybe I finished that conversation. Moving on. So let's see. How are y'all doing? I guess I should ask that. Hopefully y'all are doing well. I know the weather's been pretty interesting. I think tomorrow's a washout, maybe. I haven't even got that far. I haven't got to tomorrow yet. Val and I have just been hanging out today. Went to the public safety building or operation center. Public safety operations center. Went there, did some overtime, some media team work, and did some filming over the weekend / Tuesday. So it's like a little bit of overtime here and there in between all these other days. Not physically demanding, just staying awake, filming, editing, stuff like that, going over some stuff, set up some stages and everything. It was pretty cool. Learning a lot, but this is the only thing I'm halfway decent about lighting. If it's out in the field or downstairs, I don't. These lights are fixed to the desk, so I can't really move them around. I'll get better. But light is everything. When Motobomb, well, you're not going to need to do it, but Lucky, when you solo live stream. But I think we talked about that. I don't know if it's a conversation last episode or whatever you want to call this, or maybe we talked somewhere. But maybe doing a live stream together, because I do have access to that. Lucky, you can, or not Lucky, Motobomb, you can drop in what you use. I can't remember if you use StreamYard or if you use something else. Because StreamYard, the free version, is what I would do for any future. There's no need to pay for it for me because I don't use it. I very sparingly, once, maybe 4 times maximum a year, if that. But that's how I do my podcast from now on. If they weren't in person, like Lucky and I had one in person, which was really cool. But I use StreamYard. So maybe Lucky, you and I can do one. You don't have to do it solo. StreamYard, yeah. So that's perfect. So you have the paid version. You can have X amount of people on there, and it gives you can put their name and all that, and it's really cool. I like it. It's actually, and it's, I think, 1080 or 4K that you can stream in. The free version, Lucky, you and I are going to be held to 720. I'm just not sure if the live stream thing is for me. Oh, no worries, man. You don't have to do it. I thought mentioned something about that. You do not have to do that. Let's see. South Oz, what's up, man? Good morning. Good morning, right? Yeah, good morning. good morning. Oh, I almost said it. I'm still working on my Australian accent. I can't do it justice. So if I'm gonna act like an Australian, I'm just not gonna do it. I'm just not gonna do it. I'll ride on the other side of the road. That's what I'll do. But new helmet. We both got new helmets. Moto Alley got a new helmet as well for this riding season. And you said not bad for a full face, right? Yeah. Cool. Well, hope you're doing well. I guess we'll dive into some stuff. Lucky, I'm gonna pick on you a little bit too as I spit. Motobomb, you too, actually. Am I using? God, you said it. See, you can do it. Even the way you write it is your accent. That's perfect. Good day, mate. That's as close as I'll do it for now. That's awesome. But no, glad that you could be here. Good morning. Motobomb asked, are you using Adobe's Premiere Pro, the beta version, now that they're offering it? So I have a issue, but I have an issue when they go to a different version. It's not just when I edit. I've showed it here before, but I do like productions. So it's if you go into the workspace, and usually I just work on like effects, and that's my workspace. But they have, like, anybody that doesn't know what we're talking about, there's like if you're messing with audio, like sound, that's a workspace. If you're messing with color, that's a workspace. And they cater effects, editing is a workspace, production's a workspace. All those workspaces essentially changes your template, or what you're seeing, and it caters to that. So if you're doing color, it'll go to, you still have your timeline where you can edit your all your items, your bins and your folders and everything, all the information, the clips and everything, and maybe the bottom left, for example, your screen, what you're seeing, your preview screen and everything. And then you'll have maybe in the top left, top right, depending on where it is, and you can move it around and reset back to the saved workspace if you mess it up too bad, like I've done in the past. But like if you're messing with color correcting, color grading, you can have all like the histograms, you can have all the other stuff that that would cater to that need for that. I say all that because I go in the if you type in the production, I save all my stuff. So all 130 something episodes of Firefighter are saved. When I was playing Call of Duty and I had like 26 different like joke videos that I had, those are saved in archives. My fire department folder is archived. My photography channel, I've got 16 or 17 episodes over there. Those are archived. And then the Fire Moto channel is archived, or not archived, but they have a ongoing, because that's obviously something I'm still doing, obviously, because we're here. But I have, between text-based editing, so I have, if I need to go back to a clip where I'm talking about Motobomb, Virginia, if I'm talking about like construction site or drums or something like that, or traffic cones, and I need to get that clip. My memory is decent, but like trying to find where it is exactly. I know where I said it, like what video I said it, but I don't know where I said it within me rambling for 10 to 30 minutes realistically. But text-based editing, I can search for construction or drums or something, and if the text-based editing is good enough, it will take that. Because I say mirror, like motorcycle side, rear view mirror, magic mirror on the wall, my own accent, and sometimes I speak cursive a lot of times, or I make up my own words that text-based editing has a hard time. So mirror, I need to search for mayor, Mayor. So if I look for the mayor, if I'm looking for mirror, I just type in mayor or mirror and I'll find it. So that's it. Plus, being in a helmet and the motorcycle and the ambient, I give myself a little bit of help me out a little bit, right? But I say all that because I build that production. Such a long-winded person. I say all that because I have this huge folder system, filing system. The most organized thing I am in my entire life is productions in Adobe. And every time I go to answer your question 10 minutes later, every time I go to a new version, I somehow screw it up and I've had to rebuild everything. This last go around, I think I'm good. I think I got it. But the two times before, I have issues. So I don't go to the beta because as soon as I do that, there's something that happens and I lose everything. It's still saved, but I have to rebuild all the folders, rename everything, go back and all that other stuff. So I just wait to answer your question. No beta. I just wait for the actual where it makes me update, so to speak. I say makes me, but you know what I mean. But I don't know what's new on the beta. There's so many things because messing with Lightroom for my thumbnails and then going to Photoshop for the text for the thumbnails. Media encoder is not really a big deal for an update. And obviously Adobe Premiere Pro. There's so much to try to learn, to grasp. And I don't even know, I need to learn Photoshop for different reasons outside of this channel. But there's so much to learn without even it being updated. It's great that it updates since it's a subscription and you can't buy it outright. So it's great that they're upgrading, but at the same time, it's man, I'm everything's flying 100 miles an hour. Welcome to getting older, right? Yep. Upgrading to 2026 was a pain. And I found because I have so much saved on there that I have to when I switch over, I think there's no bar that shows that everything's updating or uploading. It shows that if you update the program, but when you update all the files and the structure inside, there's nothing. It just shows that it's doing it, and it just says okay or cancel or maybe not even okay. And when I think it's not working, or I think it freezes up, I cancel it, and then I realize that it was actually this stuck on a really big file. So my thing is I literally just hit the button and walk away and let it do its thing. Gemini can be a big help to make those updates as well. It really helps me. Okay, Gemini. Okay, so this is interesting that you bring that up. Gemini help make those updates as well. How do you mean? I know what Gemini is, but how do you mean? You mean oh, you talking about walking you through? Because it's funny you say that because I've used I have folders. Oh, another thing, I have folders with ChatGPT. So it's about fixing things around the house. It's about the fire department. It's about the 2 channels that I really run. What else? Fitness. Getting back into working out. Fitness folder. Finances, Project 2034, retirement. When I was looking at getting a new truck, my old truck fixes, lawnmower, all that other stuff. I've got all these folders, but that's funny you said that. I just started messing with since I got this phone. This phone is on the fritz, so I got a new phone, and I was like, all right, well, one of the big features of this is AI, which I didn't care about, but I'm trying to compare the two. So I'm interested in it. I started just testing that out for the Gemini. Let's see. Oops, I don't want to do that. Motobomb, Virginia. I thought Creative Cloud showed the progress. Yes, it does. Of Adobe progress. Not sure. Yes, it does. 100%. Creative Cloud will show you the progress of updating. But for the production, all my stuff within Premiere Pro, my own personal stuff, that has to now it gets updated and then gets uploaded. I guess in a way, maybe that makes sense. My documents get uploaded to the new updated version of Premiere. Maybe I'm gonna explain that pretty good. Wow. Gemini walks you through, all that stuff. Yep, absolutely. So I use ChatGPT. I talk to, it's so funny. I have friends, I swear. I talk to ChatGPT on the way to work, and then it gives me a reply, and I talk again, a reply, and it could be about work, it could be about whatever's on my mind, which is really cool. Well, not what's on my mind is not cool, but but the fact that it gives you feedback and stuff like that. So it's actually a lot. It's actually a lot of fun going for walks with Fallon. I'm the guy in the neighborhood. This is probably terrible. I'm surprised there's not more blue lights in my life. Like the police get called on me because Fallon and I will walk around the neighborhood at like midnight, night owl, right? So after this is all said and done, when I end the stream here, we'll probably go for a walk around the neighborhood. It's almost a mile. We do our little path, and I will talk to ChatGPT with my earbuds. Probably a black hoodie. It's good that Fallon's white, so it doesn't look like I'm total creeper or whatever walking around at midnight. But I'm sure all these like Ring cameras just see this random guy that's talking to himself. Just, I guess they say if you talk to yourself, that's one thing. If you answer your own questions, that's the problem. And I promise you, I talk to myself and I answer my own questions. They may not be right, but I do. Little Bird tells me that there's an Aussie motovlogger about to start a video series on building a Triumph old school chopper. A little birdie tells you that there's an old Aussie. Is this Aussie? Is North Osmoto? Is that what it is? Is that what we're working with? That's awesome. Send it. That's one of their cool things. So it better be you. So it's you and Lucky. Oh, no, out here making friends with robots. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, I treat it like a person too. I'm very respectful. Motovomb, I've done that for fun, talking to Gemini. Oh yeah, for real. So Lucky, living vicariously through your videos. I left a comment and I was going to elaborate a little bit more, but like I'll never say never, but I'll never have like a boom vader. But watching you go through that and just go through it, like I'm not a mechanic. But I'm an aspiring, just to gain a little more knowledge, one of those things. And even on the photography, that's a good side. The photography side, there's so many different, like, I call them vocabulary terms. Like when you're talking about shutter speed, ISO, aperture, right? Exposure triangle. Learning the proper terminology, and then all the parts of a motorcycle. Small engines. I worked on, having a lawn business for 12 or 13 years, can't remember. Either way, decade plus. Did a lot of repairs on my own. I'm fighting through my lawnmower year 2. This is year 2 of me fighting through my mower. I said that when I was cutting grass that I would never push mow a lawnmower again. And I've held on to this. Now I don't cut grass. Decent yard, not super huge. But I got to the point where I was like, I'm gonna hold on to this lawnmower as long as I can. But it's something about, I've changed it. There's something wrong with either the fuel, the air, some sort of mixture, right? So it's carburetor. I've replaced the carburetor. I've adjusted the carburetor. First of all, I've cleaned everything out, the bowl, the jets, everything like that. Took my bread tie, right? Burned the paper off, went through there, carb cleaner, everything like that. Replaced the gasket. I knew, Lucky, you were fighting with a gasket in one of your videos, recent videos. And I even have like that gasket in a tube, essentially, that you make your own gasket. Motorcycle, maybe not. I wouldn't trust it for that, but for a lawnmower, 19 horsepower, it's perfectly fine. There's no, when I took the old one apart, there wasn't like pieces that were gummed up or anything like that. Plus, it should run before it doesn't run. But I replaced the fuel filter, the fuel, the battery, but it was separate. What else? The fuel filter, the air filter. I might be missing something, but either way, went all the way down the line, and I cannot get it to run above a certain RPM, low RPMs, without it stalling out. So, and then I have to leave the choke on, and that's what I'm saying. It's got to be something. I've done everything outside the engine. I've replaced everything outside the engine, unless it's, and I felt around, there's no leak, there's no air coming in, there's no excess air coming in, I should say. It's got a good seal. There's no fluid leaking, there's oil leaking. There's no fuel leaking. So I don't know if it's on the inside. It's got to be, because I've replaced damn near everything. Unless it's the hose going from the fuel filter. Maybe that's the next thing. The fuel filter to going into the engine itself. Or the carburetor, I should say. Carburetor, because the carburetor butts right up to the engine. Anyway, Well, yeah, lots of questions. Yeah, and I've asked AI about that. That's in the fix it folder, and it's cool to keep track of too, like dates. And I don't trust it so much, but I've been keeping track of like how many miles, what my miles were when I changed my oil in my motorcycle, the Honda, right? Honda Shadow. Maybe we'll talk about motorcycle stuff. Changing oil, the miles, the date, um, the 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 fuel filter, the battery, whatever the number, all that stuff. So I keep track of it. So it's and Advanced Auto is another cool thing, or Revzilla. You'll be able to put in your make and model, and it'll give you exact matches and stuff like that. But South Oz and Lucky, like y'all doing that, or Super Secret South Oz, North Oz Moto doing that, breaking it apart. It's fun to watch. It's fun to watch. That's what I say, living vicariously. Because another thing would be cool if money and space wasn't an issue, right? Well, we'd all have 1,000 motorcycles, but having another Honda Shadow, because I see them on Facebook, and they're, for a motorcycle, they're pretty cheap in comparison. But you getting an old motorcycle in and just tearing it apart, or another Honda Shadow similar to the age that I have. I mean, you see them all the time. One that's not carbureted, so it matches mine, and then taking it apart, dissecting it, learning how it works, and also Lucky, upgrading stuff and on that maybe, and having a backup, which you do. You have three motorcycles, two backups, so that's cool. But for me, if I started to try to update stuff, like I'm gonna eventually do some stuff with the lights and everything, but I'll probably end up shorting out and burning it, burning it up. All right, let me catch up. But that'd be cool. South Oz, that'd be awesome to see. Especially if it's like a project, like it's not your main bike, having like a project where you can tear something apart. And that's what I'm kind of getting at too. Like you can tear something apart, have fun with it, have a build series, and still have your Triumph. Well, you have two bikes, right? At least I know you have two bikes, but I think you have, and I say just two, but you know what I mean, just two, not three, but you will have three, if I'm not mistaken. Another thing about that, it was cool seeing. I saw the Indian Crusader. He brought his name back. So that I saw that last night, catching up. That's why I'm saying work's been so busy that I've missed so much as far as all y'all's videos and stuff. But seeing him back, and then he goes over all the bikes, and then I was like, I'm looking for the Triumph. And I was like, is that it? And then I saw you standing by it when he goes towards the end, and I was like, nah, that's South Oz. That's a Triumph right there. It's really cool. Big bike, awesome. Let's see, where are we at? Oh, and that's the other thing, South Oz. I don't know if you know, you can probably do, but you can like compartmentalize your videos. Like you wouldn't have different folders. So if you wanted a build series, you can put it in your motovlogs, and you can put it in two different ones. You can put it in your motovlog like playlist. That's what they call them, playlist. And then you can also have a build series of that. So you can have a playlist of just the build series, or you can put it in your motovlogs and the build series. So people that follow that or want to see it from start to finish, they click that, and that playlist will play from start to finish, instead of you work on the bike, right? The Triumph, you said Triumph, yeah, old school Triumph, and then you go into like, a meetup, and then you go into a ride, then you go into a fishing, go fishing, and then you go back to that episode, the next episode, as far as the teardown or the build series. You can still do that, but you could have a whole playlist dedicated just to that bike, and people could watch, from start to finish if they wanted to. One of those things. Just a heads up. Yeah, out here making friends with robots. Oh my goodness, yeah, for real. Okay. Well, I say lots of questions on things I'd like to know. Yeah, and that's the other thing. It's like, it's one thing to get the answer. I'm in my intellectual phase. Never thought I'd say that. But getting the answer is one thing, but actually diving into it a little bit more. And it's so crazy. It's wild, like where we live, the time we live. Because I remember in school, to date myself a little bit, I remember in school, here you go, Moto Alley. I think you called me old the other day. Oh, and I deleted Instagram. That's probably should have been a topic. I'll get into that in a second. Maybe I'll probably forget. I remember, I've gotten real good about taking this watch off, because we start picking up people off the ground. I got somebody's armpit I had somebody's armpit in here, and it stunk so bad. I couldn't wash it. Like I washed it a bunch of times, and it stunk. And I finally just like soaked it for like hours on end. May or may not have been a good thing, but it's fine. It's still working. It's fine. But yeah, it stunk pretty bad. So when we're about to yoke somebody off the ground, I quickly like take it off. I'm like looking at them, giving eye contact, being respectful, and I take it off and slide it in my pocket. That's pretty funny because one of my buddies always watches. He said, I saw that. I said, oh yeah, I'm not doing it again. I also tasted deodorant too. I'll tell you that story too if I remember. Too many stories. Not my deodorant either. Hopefully I remember that. What was I talking about? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I deleted Instagram. Yeah, dang, I just threw like three things at once. I should write this stuff down. I'm a mess. Yeah, I deleted Instagram. I think I'm going to. So the last time I posted on Instagram, so I ate somebody else's deodorant. This watch smelled like BO one time, not mine, and deleted Instagram. And there was another topic I was talking about before then. I guess I could watch the playback, but anyway, it doesn't really matter. The last time I posted on Instagram was October 15th last year, and it became a mixture of uh like a lot of stuff. And I think what I'm gonna do, because I hate YouTube Shorts, y'all know that. I don't hate watching them. I hate making them or being a part of it or it taking time away from bigger projects that I want to work on. That's what I should say. Because I watch y'all shorts and I watch YouTube shorts in general. For some reason, I'm on this wrestling kick, but once again, we'll pause for a second. Old school wrestling. I have my life on Instagram. LOL. Yeah, yeah. It's like it was cool, and I'll advertise it. But I think what I want to do is I want to develop maybe an Instagram to this channel and just this channel. I think that would be good because that's so honestly because South Oz, you and I had some good conversation. We talked on there. Moto Alley, we talked on there, and when I do it, I'll tell you what I do. When I do, you gotta say it slow. When I do it, so you don't say do. I don't know, whatever. When I do it, I will maybe I'll make a community post, but I'll seek out those who I talk to, and Motobomb Virginia, I'll hit you up too. And then that way, y'all know I'll have it. But I think that's what I want to do is just, I'll make it for maybe communication's sake or something. But it just was like, I don't know. It's kind of similar to this channel. Maybe it's me starting over and just like cleaning out everything because it had photography on it. It had, I think my dog was on it, which is fine. But I don't know how I want to treat that. But also is it's a time sucker. It's a vampire for time. So I don't miss it, but it's nice. I don't miss it for obvious reasons, like why people have Instagram to keep caught up. But I miss it for maybe like communication. I think that's it. So it's a lack of communicating with y'all. So that's why I'll probably end up getting it back. But I want to dedicate it to just this. So I'll figure it out. Y'all will know. Let's see. South Oz, where am I at? I said a lot of questions. I think that's what I had I was going to say something about that maybe, but I forgot. You may just end up watching an old Aussie biker ride across Australia on a chopper with a duffel bag strapped to the sissy bar. That's the plan anyway. That'd be cool, man. No, it's really cool. I mean, if you take a step back and realize like what we're doing, there's so many people. Y'all all have friends that don't ride, okay, and they think we're crazy for riding, right? We think they're crazy for not riding or not wanting to ride. They don't. Nobody has to. I get it, but you know, we're all over the world. Just talk about I've said it before. YouTube is itself the fact that we're communicating from from Virginia to North Carolina. Right now, these conversations, Virginia, North Carolina, and Australia, and we're. I mean, you're in the next. South Oz is already in tomorrow for us. Today for him, we're in yesterday. All said and done, right? But just like you said, I mean, painting that picture where you just like get on a bike, one that you rebuilt or whatever, built your way. Lucky, the same thing, completely customizing all three of his motorcycles. Motobomb Virginia getting a day off and riding and all that stuff away from traffic drums, traffic cones, and more on that in a little bit here. But it's just It's awesome, man. It's badass, is what it is. It's so awesome to be able to do that, just to get on a bike, and it totally, you think about like, I don't say a guy thing because anybody can do it, but it's such a guy thing to think about, like to basically sit on two wheels, a motor, and then just ride down the road. Shifting through the gears too. I know there's automatic motorcycles. I had I had a Honda Ruckus 49cc moped, and did not shift through the gears, right? But there's absolutely no reason why I would want an automatic motorcycle, because that's the fun part of it. And I almost kicked myself when I had the Challenger, the Dodge Challenger, that a nice car, but I went automatic, and I was 50-50, or maybe I was 49-51, and I went automatic. But the motorcycle fills my cup for that, because the first truck I really learning how to drive was a '96 Isuzu Hombre. So it was like a Chevy S10 equivalent to that smaller truck and everything. And it was manual, and it was so fun. Very difficult at first trying to figure out, one, how to drive, and then two, not only how to drive, but shifting through the gears, right? Knowing what a clutch, how to operate a clutch, brake, and stalling out, and find the friction zone for that. But obviously it helps me for, when I jumped into the motorcycle realm all those years ago. Still know how to do it. There's a guy, quick story, 30 seconds. We had to move his Jeep for, it was an opening ceremony of one of the fire stations that we have. A rebuild of a fire station, I should say. Not a new. It's new, but same number. So not an additional station. That's what we need. He had a Jeep there, and nobody could move it. And I was like, I got it, man. It was so cool driving that Jeep because it was manual. Definitely, everybody's bike has it. You got to learn the friction zone. Same thing as that Jeep. So it wasn't like I just jumped in and was ready to go, but it was fun. Did not stall out. It was fun. But that would be really cool, South Oz. That'd be really cool. Cool to watch. Cool to witness. And I know you're going into the colder months, but maybe that's a good thing. I don't know if you plan that on purpose, but a build inside. You got a garage. You got a place you can work on it. And then that's it. Okay, we're all caught up on that. Yeah. So Instagram. I'll tell you the deodorant story. Why not? Just real quick. There was a big girl, and she was notorious for falling, and we had to like pick her up and all that other stuff, and we ended up leaving a hospital sheet over there because it's easier to pick her up with a hospital sheet. She became she used to be a 2-person lift, and she became a 3-person lift. Super nice lady. And I remember I was wearing, I don't wear jackets at work. I don't wear long sleeves very often, or jackets, because I get hot real quick. But I happened to be wearing a long sleeve shirt. And I remember picking her up, and I got deodorant on my sleeve. And I even remember it was in the morning. It was later than she calls. Usually she calls like 1 to 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And it was pretty routine that we'd get up just to go. The engine goes for lift assist. The medic doesn't go unless there's an injury. So I'd be on the engine and go over there. You could sleepwalk and drive to her place because you knew you'd been there so many times. Go there, super nice, help her out, sign some paperwork, and then we leave. Well, this particular time we were on the way to the grocery store because it was, shift change. It was like 7:15, 7:20. Go pick her up. She's good, no injuries, don't need a medic. And then we say, all right, some paperwork, and then we go to the grocery store. And I remember looking at my sleeve and saying, oh, at least she wears deodorant, right? Just as a little joke. And I was walking around the grocery store. We got all our food, and we're heading to the checkout. And I just kind of went, dude, I went like in the corner of my mouth. I went like that, just to kind of get the corner of my mouth dry and all that stuff. And as soon as I did that or whatever, my mouth instantly went dry. And I was like, oh. The antiperspirant, the wicking sensation of my mouth was just, oh my gosh. I was like, well, I just ate her armpit. I just licked her armpit, essentially is what I did. Moto Alley, there it is. That answered my question. Now you don't even need to leave me a comment on a video. I was asking Moto Alley CA, what's up, buddy? I was asking, I'm still a little confused. You'll see the playback probably if you watch it. I'm a little confused. I got your name. The handle's at Moto Alley CA because I think you had a post and all that stuff. You'll see in the beginning, but it might be me. It probably is me. You came in at the perfect time. I put someone's armpit in my mouth. 20 minutes later, we'll say. That's my life. That's my life. But I want to. And you can hit me up. I deleted Instagram, so maybe they can't hit me up. And that's a whole topic I went over too. But you have Moto Alley CA, and maybe you can explain it here. But and maybe this is a quick video because you have Moto Alley CA. You got to explain it to me again. You got to explain it. Maybe I'll pull it up. Let me pull it up real quick. Oop, that's not right. Let me pull it up. I can explain, or you can explain it. If you're probably working, you don't have that much time. Well, let's see if I can do it real quick. Oh, what do you got? Move. Motorbomb, Virginia. There we go. See, 3 days ago. City deer and distracted drivers in Virginia. Yep, gotta watch that. I gotta watch that. Let me put that on my list. That's what I'm saying. I'm not quite caught up. Spoke to Nye. Moto has a video that's 4 days old. I gotta watch that. Save to playlist. Not watch later. Moto. Community. Boom. Got it. I put it in the community so I would not miss it. Motobomb, I got you. Let's see. I'll do this and then I'll dive into some topics. That is not Moto Alley. Okay. Okay. All right. So I am right. Maybe. All right. Let me move this over. And I should not lose. Let's see. I shouldn't lose the volume now. I think I fixed that. Let's see. Volume? Yep. You should still be able to hear me. Good on audio, right? You should still be able to hear me. I messed up last time. I didn't add the microphone to this scene in OBS. It's showing. It should be good. If there's no audio, you can tell me there's no audio. But am I on? Okay, I'm on it. This is you, Moto Alley and Vista. I need help. This is you. This is your. Is this? I know you have a photography channel too. This is your only channel that you're posting on? Because I was wondering if, I don't know if anybody else is confused. I was a little confused, and I've been following your journey for quite a bit. I've seen all these. I think this is it because you had another one with Vista in it, but I think, did you get rid of that and this is it? I just want to clarify because I know you had a post on the other Moto Alley recently, community post to bring everybody here and say, hey, I didn't quit riding. This is where I'm at. So is this, if you're watching, you can maybe leave a comment or something. I don't know. If you're not here, maybe the Playback King. I know you got to work. I'm not 100% sure. Moto Alley's latest video is bloody awesome. Yes. Oh my God. Yeah. South Oz. So I left a comment and then I got to the end where he drops the F-bomb, like F it. Dude, honestly, like, you know, people type LOL. If I leave in a comment that I laughed about something, I really laughed about something. Like I'm not like that. Like, you know, I'm sitting in and I was enjoying it because he is, it's really cool, man. Moto Alley, if you hear the playback or whatever, it's really cool that you're doing what you want to do. And I think that I just filmed a video, and you'll see it because I know we talk on the photography side too. I filmed 2 videos today on that, but one was going into, like, you know, making it your own, and it was going over teams. Essentially, it's like, you all know how you watch like and it could be about motorcycles too, or repair shops and everything like that, channels where they have teams. Okay, so you have, oh man, I got into it good. You have somebody that comes up with a script, somebody that's an expert, right? An expert at scripts, thumbnails, titles, SEO, which is, you know, isn't a thing nowadays. Filming that person in XYZ niche video, whatever. And at some point, because it goes to the point, I was using like a seesaw or you're teetering on that fulcrum, right? So you're grounded, you're way down. This is what I'm going to do. And then whether it's brand sponsorships, money, subscribers, fame, fortune, whatever, somehow you can teeter. And I was using it like the analogy too. Like there's somebody that's making a product, an entrepreneur, solopreneurship, where they're a solo creator or an inventor of something that they're 3D printing in their garage, right? Similar to like I was talking about the chin mount. And started out as a 3D print essentially in 2019, I think, in the guy's garage, if I'm not mistaken. And then it became this, 100, what did I say? Maybe it's the next video, 110, 100 something countries that know about it or that they deliver to. And so it's world, it's gone global, world renowned. That chin mounts, people that ride motorcycles that vlog their footage know about chin mount. I was a fan of chin mounts before I bought this one. And at some point, that person's supply and demand, the demand for it outweighs the supply. So he brings another friend or buys another 3D printer, and then eventually gets a warehouse. And before you know it, that person is no longer, because they have bigger things to worry about business side, that person no longer worries and puts their hands on that product, right? Designs. There's a group of engineers that are designing the next products going forward, changing colors. Hey, this color works better. This, there's people that showing them graphs and a board, whatever, going all the way down the line. And you're disconnected from the process, right? And just like the people that are working on the project themselves are disconnected from the CEO or I would say like the admin. Kind of talk about it at work. There's, let's say, three sides, right? Whatever, we'll go with that. There's a disconnect. Everybody that works somewhere, there's a disconnect. When everybody says like the troops, there's a disconnect from like admin to the field forces. Whether there's also, and I'm quick to this too. And I'm not just saying this. I really enjoy my place of business, my workplace, and all that stuff, and admin. And nobody knows I do this stuff. Well, people know, but nobody up there, whatever. I don't know. We'll just leave it at that. I'm a big fan of who we have in the positions. Okay, and I'm going for no promotions. I'm not. So it has nothing to do with this. I talk to people and I say, and you don't even do my eval, but so I can tell you this, and I'm not just BSing you. I'm not going for promotions. So this has nothing to do with this, but I really enjoy where we are structurally, and I'm quick to this. And even before the regime or whatever you want to call it now, there is a disconnect between admin and field forces. There has to be, because we're doing two separate jobs. But what people don't know is there's also a disconnect from the field forces to admin. So in this case, there's a disconnect. Get back on this related topic. There's a disconnect between the CEO of business and the production line, right? So all that being said, and it's because we have different responsibilities. That's what it boils down to. You're not going to know what we do on the production line. We don't know, we don't need to know, or not privy or whatever to know what's going on for the political side of things, the budget side of things, the way to get more apparatus, or the way to get more product, more warehouses for this product, this fictitious product I just made up. So at some point it teeters, and it's like, it's so cool. Going back to you, Moto Alley, Moto Alley CA. So I guess that's what it is. You're Moto Alley, but your handle is Moto Alley CA Canada. Okay, I got it. So I'm still going to call you Moto Alley, but if I put it mentioned in the channel, I have to do the handle. Got it. Nailed it. All right. But the cool thing about it is I laughed at the end because you were like, man, just do your thing, man. Just do your thing. And I know you watched Peter McKinnon on the photography side, and he had a video maybe a couple weeks ago or something. And people are saying, I miss the old Pete. And the guy does a lot of, there's nothing wrong with that, because he does it YouTube as a business. So not taking any money. I'm not worried about anybody else's wallet or purse or whatever. Or 2026 or both. Anyway, moving on. I'm not worried about that. I just think that that person only does more often than not, he's advertising. He makes a video, and that's what people are seeing. They miss the old Pete. They miss the old roots foundation. Where it's like kind of like One of Us. One of those deals in the photography realm. And he became more corporate. I guess that's probably a real good way to do it. Like, it's almost like your best bud, your coworker, and then they get promoted and they get up the rank, and all of a sudden, there's movies about this where they don't even look at their coworker, because their worker bee, and now they're up with the suits. One of those deals. Dang, keep going. Yeah, it's just interesting. But so I say all that long-winded, of course, because Motor Alley, that was awesome. That made me laugh at the end when you were like, F it, because that's exactly what it's about. That's exactly what it's about. Because at some point, like, I said this in the video I filmed today. You got to look, and maybe that guy Peter McKinnon looked at it, and of course he had the comment section, and I miss the old Pete, and he said it, man, it messed him up because he's like, I'm still the same Pete. He is the same guy, but he's more corporate, right? He's more of wearing a suit, and that wasn't. It's not necessarily his fault. It's just he's doing this to put bread on the table. Now that bread might be the best bread in the world, where he is in his position, but he earned it too. That's one of those things. So that was just really cool. Very good video, fantastic video, and grounded. That was really cool. So keep that, and the fact that you made that for yourself and whoever else needed to hear that was really cool. So definitely, hopefully, you keep that vibe, and yeah, I'll seek you out too if and when I do go back to Instagram for just the Fire Moto channel. All right, where we at here? Let's see. Back. Moto video. Yep, I enjoyed it as well. Every one of us need to record a video similar, record just for ourselves to remind us as to why we do this and what we do. Absolutely. Write it down on a scratch piece of paper. Leave it on the computer screen or something. I just envisioned I was gonna get that monster out of the corner of my mouth. I was gonna wipe somebody's deodorant armpit in the corner of my mouth. All right, let's dive into some stuff, shall we? I think down the road, I'll go back to this. I think down the road it'll be fun. I mean, this is cool. I mean, there's 52 minutes just chewed up with that. To go into topics real quick, but really to kind of catch up when 3 weeks have passed, just kind of shoot the breeze with everybody, see what everybody's doing. I think that's a lot of fun. Minimize this. Go back to this. Yep, that worked. Yep, and audio. So I think that's what I did. I didn't plug in. I have my scenes. Let me show you what I'm looking at real quick. HP. Let me minimize me. And okay. Should be good. This is what I'm looking at. So this is one of my screens where I have like a hub. And I've showed it before, like command center. So over here, I'm monitoring the chat. I would be able to see if I hit play here. I think I was quiet. Okay, there it goes. So yeah. So I have the chat pulled up here. I can monitor my sound, my audio. Over here is just kind of a filler. But this is where if I click this, it shows over here what this is. These are my two pictures I was going to show. And I go over that. Oh, you know what? You probably don't have audio. Yeah, you do. Wait. Is there audio? Hold on, let me double check. Okay, I do have audio. Okay, good. Wasn't sure if I had it on this scene. This is the Canva side. And if you look over here, the scenes. So I'm under my scene, my profile, Fire Moto, scenes is Fire Moto. If you can barely see it, probably. But either way, it's up there. And then the scenes, the individual scenes that I can do. So right here is my other screen, my other computer screen. This is what y'all see right now, the program, and then my preview. So I can transition between these two right here, and you would see that on your screen. So I can build the preview and then send it, transition it over to the program, which is what you see. But what I did was, how I messed up is when I was using the MSI, my laptop, I did not have this right here, which was the microphone. That's why when I switched last episode 5, always going to have mistakes. Episode 5, when I switched over, I had no audio. But back to talking head, and I'm back. That's it. We'll go over, let's see what the first thing is. So I'll slide back to this and go away here. Boom. All right, here we are. And slide this. 5/6/26, Beyond the Ride, Out of My Element, Episode 6, Incident Action Plan, IAP, no big deal. Rearview. I was just going to discuss a Rearview, Lucky Virginia, subscriber meet, sneak peek, Episode 29, which has been built, done, complete for like 2 weeks, I think, at this point. Been a while. Let me build the next scene real quick. I want to go like looking all around. Everybody's like, what is he looking at? That's what I'm looking at. Let's go here. Let's go to my channel. Just briefly going over. I already talked about it, a little bit about it. Should have gone. That's not what I want. So prepared. Oh, this will work. Let me share that again. Transition. Okay, so just rear view. Just to kind of talk about I guess the last couple of videos, kind of where I'm at. I've got my last video was about the new gear, 2026 gear for like the motorcycle helmet. Battery said it couldn't be done, and guess what? It was hell froze over. That it did get complete. Okay, what else? South Oz, I got you over here for the Why Do I Ride? I did my second, which the wind was terrible over here. I got to figure that out. I messed that up this time, but just a solo ride as far as no commentary. I did that again. I was going to do it once a month. Honestly, I was going to do it once a month, but I don't want to do it once a month because I have so many other topics that I want to discuss that a solo ride of 10 to 15 minutes, I don't want to go any further than that. I don't really have time to put that in, I guess, in a way. It'd be a okay, like, I once again, no schedule. I'll put a random one here and there. But I think what I'm gonna do is where's the other one I did? This one right here, where it says Honda Shadow and has the slash or whatever separating and then I'll just have something, second title for it. But Honda Shadow 750, that'll be like no commentary rides. I'll start it off like that. Not that you need to remember that, just for talking about it. 100 subscriber ride, and then Ride in the Rain after hours at night, and then it was just a couple fix it things. So similar to these three right here, where I was kind of dialing my audio in the DJI camera and the wireless setup. Here I'm saying goodbye to gear that's 10 years old, essentially 9-10 years old. And my next video is I can go to manage, and I can go here. And missing pieces. So two upgrades. I'm gonna release this tomorrow. 2 upgrades that every helmet needs, and this GT Air 3 is my new helmet. And I go over the pin lock, and the chin mount. The chin mount. My crooked setup, Restless Mule. My crooked setup from where it was to chin mount. Might be a little bit crooked still, but you know, we don't do anything perfectly over here. So a little review, just conversation. And then let's see what else. What's next? Lucky Virginia. Let me catch up in the chat real quick. I think it's 1 or 2 things. Yeah, nice challenge, South Oz. Yeah, absolutely. Just a reminder, like why we do YouTube, why you do it. I like that. I mentioned it before in past dimension. But you know, having your autobiography, South Oz, you mentioned it too. You know, something to your family can see and all that stuff, and that's exactly it. Time capsules, what I kind of refer to a time capsule or autobiography. And your environment changes, the roads change, and all that stuff. What's up, Mike? Yo, what up? What up? Welcome. Then South Oz, I've tagged you in a post which includes the AI pic of how my chopper project hopefully ends up looking like. You tagged me, or you tagging somebody else? Let me see. Like I said, I'm catching up to. Oop, that's not it. Oh no, did I mess it up? Nope, didn't. Surprisingly, I didn't. Oh, 5 minutes ago. Okay, let's check it out real quick. Ooh, all right. All right, hold on. Let me show this. Nice, dude. What year? Let me show everybody else. Let me show the world. What year? What year? Project 5 minutes. Heck yeah, man. That's awesome. Yeah, man, that's clean. What year? What year? That's cool. Yeah, leave that up. It looks better than me anyway. Leave it. That's awesome. I like that kicksands black, all that chrome. I'm not even a chrome guy, and that looks really good. I say I'm not a chrome guy, and then when I saw the Harley Fat Boy, I'm like, I joke, maybe chrome's not so bad, right? Maybe it's not so bad. I bet you that's a pain to clean. Not that one particularly, but when it's all chromed out, which that one's got quite a bit of chrome. But I really like it. Honestly, the balance of it. Oh, I'm pointing. I'm not even on camera, but I'm just whatever. From the sissy bar being chrome too. I think that balances out really well. I don't even like chrome and it looks good, man. That's really cool. Yeah. What year you got? What year? What year? Nice work. That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. Yeah, I'm curious to see like because you got the bike or North Osmoto has the bike. That's nice. Nice, nice, nice. All right, so if you drop in that, what do you got? I've already bought the bike, a 2012 Triumph American or America with 2950, almost 3,000 kilometers on the clock. That pick is AI. Oh, okay, I got you. But that's what. Oh, you did say that. I'm sorry. Yeah, dude, AI is crazy. I'm like, oh man, it looks awesome. Yeah, do it. So, did you type in the prompts? You can fill in the chat. You type in the prompts, what year or take a picture or something like that, or a screenshot of what it is and what you want it to look like. That's really cool. We always joked with my dad when we were playing video games back in the day. Like I was playing Madden '98, right? So the graphics were awesome back then, but terrible, obviously now in today's standards. And we always used to joke with my dad that like he was gonna get old one day and old and senile, and we were gonna play PlayStation or something and act like the game's really on. Yeah, game's on. The Redskins would always win. They'd be 16-0 and win the Super Bowl. It barely broke it in. Yeah, 3,000 kilometers. Yeah. Am I the only one not talking to AI? Dude, I'm telling you, man. Oof. Sometimes I've never visited a therapist, so sometimes this thing is on my side. I can tell you that much. That's funny. Yeah, and I think that's what I was gonna talk about. Oh, that's exactly lucky, thanks, man. So here's the deal. I remember ChatGPT as my new best friend. I'm telling you for real, it's crazy. So bring up Gemini, the ChatGPT and Gemini might be fighting for my attention or my money, one or the other, because there's a free version and a paid version. But who's Al Bundy? Yeah, AI. Yeah, Al Bundy. Four touchdowns, poke high, 4 touchdowns in one game. Al Bundy, love that show growing up. But I was talking about like AI today, like what kids have today. I mean, of course, you only know what you know. But I remember when, and this is what got me talking about my watch, taking my watch off so I don't get someone's like armpit in there at work and stink stuff, anything, whatever. I already went over that story, but I remember I brought that up to myself, the watch part, because I was remembering technology back in the day. Do y'all remember? Some of y'all might remember, but they had watches that had little calculators on, like little buttons of calculators, and I remember that was the coolest thing, that people would have to take that watch off if they were in school and doing a math test and all that stuff. And I remember how cool that was. And now here we are. Your cell phone has is a computer. It's a damn computer. That's why I really don't care. Like, I understand they cost quite a bit. There's a comma in the price, or depending on which one you buy in the storage that you buy. But realistically, I mean, text messaging and voice and phone calls. That's what phones used to do. Obviously, it used to just be phone calls. And the pound sign. What's a pound sign? That's a hashtag sign, right? Go to text messages, and then it's like the internet and social media, and it's all this music. It's your music player. So it takes so many different electronics and combines it into one. You don't need to carry a boom box. You have that, or speakers, and even the speakers are really good. Or a set of earpods or earbuds, whatever. There it is behind my monster. Like a set of earbuds that you can listen to and have like the perfect audio, and you want to hear it. You don't have to carry around a big boom box. So I don't know. It's just it's what a time to be alive, right? If you use it for the right reasons. I'm against AI for my video work, but to see what my project entails. Yeah, absolutely. So I don't script. I don't really know if motovlogs, if you really could do a script. I don't know how that works. Um, you can talk it out. Like I've talked out like ideas before for sure, but there's nothing I memorize or anything like that. I can't. It's too fake. It's too, or to me at least. One of the best TV shows ever. Absolutely, absolutely. It was Rescue 911. I'll give you a couple shows. Rescue 911. Married with Children, obviously. Cops. What's Cops? And then our cartoons we watched were well, Simpsons. But we watched as kids. We watched X-Men, the cartoon, the animated series, right? In like 95, 96. And then Spider-Man came out after X-Men, which I think was on just before X-Men. But I remember the theme song and everything. Netflix had it. And I remember watching the first episode, the nostalgic version of that. Are You Afraid of the Dark? That was Nickelodeon. We watched that. Oh, was it Snick? Snick at Night. That was like Saturday night. Snick was like Nickelodeon's version. They'd have a bunch of shows. But Are You Afraid of the Dark came on at 9, I think. That was like the later one. Tales from the Crypt. That's the other one. When we had HBO, Tales from the Crypt, we were big into that. But yeah, AI, absolutely. It's there for a reason. I don't even like self-checkout. I don't like it. We go to the grocery store in the morning. How that works is, not that anybody asked, but I'll tell you. Everybody puts $10 in, there's 5 or 6 of us that work that day for my station, 2 on the medic, 3 or 4 on the engine, depending on staffing. So we put $10 in, and it'll buy us breakfast and dinner, and then we bring our own lunch in. So we provide our own meals, right? We eat staples, spices, cooking spray, all the way down to coffee. For example, you used to get newspaper too. So we pay $7 a month for staples for the whole station. So it's 3 shifts, X amount of people, whatever. This so that there's 20 plus people. So collect all that, and that's what buys all our food. We don't get any food. The city doesn't buy us food. We buy our own stuff. And I'll tell you another little tangent story. I went to the grocery store one time, and customer's always right? So it was a day that, like, any leftover money, you have a kitty, and any leftover money is a bank bag, and you just, obviously it stays in there, and you hope to build it up. So when we got to work Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner, for example, family come up, and we might pitch in a little extra money here and there just to make sure we have enough to provide for how many people are showing up. I don't have any family that comes up for like probably a decade, because as soon as they come up, we get a call, we leave. It's just known, right? It's just known. And it's so wild. It's nonstop. My wife would come up, and I'd like call her, like, nope, we got to go. We're out. And she'd turn right back around and go home. Not that far. It's like 15 minutes, but just the overall concept. Like, as soon as you get there, to leave and then wait 30 minutes to an hour. No, just go home. So tangent to another tangent. We were at the grocery store, and we happened to put steak on the conveyor belt, right? No self-checkout. Just right at conveyor belt, got our steak, potatoes, probably vegetables, whatever, maybe some crack rolls, some rolls, whatever. And the guy in front of us, and he was just like, I don't know what inspired him for it. He said, "You're welcome." That's all he said. And I was like, "Excuse me." I looked at him. He goes, "You're welcome." I said, "Well, what do you mean?" And he goes, "Because, my tax money is buying you that food." And I explained to him calmly, and I knew exactly where he was going. And this is like 7 in the morning. 7:30 in the morning. How do you have beef with the fire department? The people that you call for help, 911, whatever. And beef, no pun intended, right? So I can't claim that dad joke. And I explained to him, just educated him a little, and said, which sounds terrible saying it that way, but educated him that every morning we put in $10. We buy whatever's on sale. Obviously, you can see here, this is reduced. It expires today or tomorrow, whatever it was. And whatever we get with that pool of money is what we buy for our breakfast and dinner. And we provide our own lunch and all that stuff. He couldn't handle it. So he said, "Well, you're welcome anyway, because my tax money pays your salary." And I looked at him and said, "Okay." And that's it. And I was like, damn. And at the same time, the joke is, where's your address? Can we block that? Can we block that from 911? Right. Anyway, it was just, I've got a million stories. I've got a million stories. It's crazy. They say like anybody that comes in, I heard this advice when I came in, never did it. I had a scrapbook actually. My wife was putting together a scrapbook when I was the first couple years, and it's kind of wild going back and looking at it because it's nonstop. That thing could have been filled up 10 times over in a good way. A lot of knowledge, that I've learned from stuff like that, but in memories and everything. But they say like just write down like some of these events, and by the time you retire, like this book that you would have would be amazing. Never did it, which is kind of like YouTube. You're kind of documenting your own journey. Yeah, but the whole AI, it's cool to work. I use it as a kind of like an assistant. One of those things, kind of help me out. Is this not is this a good idea? 'Cause I'm gonna do it either way. But some things I'll say is I'll go over like my thought process, and it'll kind of like tell me like might tighten things up or whatever. I go out with I know bullet points is how I do it. I go out, I know I'm going to talk about a topic, and I might have 3 or 4 bullet points that I want to talk about, and then I just like ad lib everything else, which is perfectly fine for me at least. But yeah, no self checkout. I hate that because another thing, man, I think I talked about it before, but it irritates me that there's sweet ladies. There's a couple ladies at Kroger that we go to in the morning for food, and she is running all over the self checkout side because some of my other buddies at work, they want to go self checkout, and I get it because it's time sensitive stuff. If I have the cart in my hand, I'd steer right to one of the numbers, one of the cashiers. But her span of control is probably 6, is what they found their study is. So there's 6 self checkouts that she's ping ponging back and forth, pinballing back and forth, and getting people's errors cleared out or questions and cashback issues and all kinds of stuff. And I'm just like, man, you need 6 paychecks. But what really kind of honestly pisses me off is she's getting 1 paycheck and Kroger is paying 1 employee to do essentially 6 people's jobs. And eventually it'll all go self-checkout, and then you'll just have customer service, which I went to Sam's, and I'll move on after this, get rid of my old man conversation. But I went to Sam's. I don't have a membership there, but I went through it. I got swung over to a different station. I was driving a ladder, so we went to there and got some groceries and staples and stuff for the month. And I guess they don't at Sims. They don't go through they just go through something that scans all the items or something. I don't know. Which gets rid of everything. It takes away a lot of jobs. So there's AI. Technology. Okay. Yeah, you fooled me with this. And you even said it was AI. I was like, damn, that bike is nice. It will be nice when you're done with it. All right, first topic. So Rearview, Lucky Virginia. All right, here's the deal. So when I talk about out of my element, I've mentioned before that I've ridden before I met Lucky and rode with him. I have not rode with another person, another motorcyclist since the very beginning, 2017, when I started riding. And riding with Lucky was really cool to go like that staggered position, ride back and forth and everything, get footage even of him, and then pass on by, and then he's got footage. I've got nobody ever like really films themselves. Nobody sees himself on the bike. Outside of before I had the YouTube channel, when I started in 2022, I think October 22 or 23, I can't remember now. 22, 3 years. Yeah, that's right. 22, October 22, when I started making YouTube videos, or motovlogs, I should say. I had one picture or one video that I put my camera on the side of the road when I first got the bike, and I rode past it real fast and came back in like a commercial area. And I rode back and forth. And I guess it's like my first ever like filming of me riding. And then my wife took a picture of me. I rode up the road and came back, and she's got a picture of me. It's second time I ever saw myself on a bike for 5 years. 5 years. So it was cool to see that too. Different. It was weird to see it on a different motorcycle channel too. But I'm out of my element. I rode with him, had a great time, great lunch. And now there's a trip, there's a meetup that he has, and I'll get up to in a second too. But there's a meet that he's having, and he's had 2 meets. Lucky's had 2 meets before with the subscribers in years past. And I made a video, different dimension, different the previous channel. I made a video about, and I told him this, that I some goals I wanted to have. It wasn't for that year. I think this was 2024 or 25, but it was January. I think it was 25. And I was talking about things I want to do. I want to branch out. I want to go to meets. I want to go to maybe demo days. I want to go to just different, not necessarily just subscriber meets, but actually meets, like big groups of other riders and stuff. And I think I feel more comfortable now, not confident, but more comfortable now, because even if I'm the oddball there and you're by yourself, you're solo, and just a typical meet, let's say like Harley was holding some sort of like event or something, and go there, I can film the process and not even talk to the camera, or not even talk to anybody else unless I want to, because I got that mindset that I'll be good, but I can just film, the event if I want to, or whatever, with limited interactions of me and the camera potentially. So I mentioned to Lucky, that when I was talking about going to a meetup, and I said a meetup, it wasn't necessarily, I was not talking about my own, and I mentioned in that video, I wasn't talking about my own subscriber meetup. Even the other channel, when I had 1,300 plus subscribers, I wasn't looking for that. Motobomb, you and I didn't talk back then. Oh, I don't think, or maybe towards the end, maybe we did, but I didn't know anybody around here. And so there was no chance that I was going to have a meetup. I just didn't see that it was not, I guess, beneficial, because I didn't have anybody that I knew around here. I didn't think it was possible. That's probably more likely what I should have said. But I told Lucky, I said, going to meet somebody, going to a meet he was in my mind about that. And we have we're way more talkative now, conversation wise than we did even back then when I filmed that video. And then I end up meeting him in Roanoke Rapids. We end up doing the podcast, right? The Beyond the Shadow, text back and forth, right? Emails back and forth, just going over some stuff. And then obviously watching each other's videos and commenting back and forth. And now it's he's had the 2 meetups prior to, and I couldn't go. And I remember telling him this. I said, I was not going to tell you like, hey, I can't make it. Not because I didn't want to do it, but because it was a 10 o'clock meetup, and I didn't get off work till 7 that morning, 7 a.m. And then by the time I got there, it's 3.5 hours probably with traffic. It shows about 3 hours and 15 minutes or so. So with traffic or stopping or whatever, pushed me closer to 3.5 hours if I'm kind of scooting along. And I wouldn't make it in time. And I wasn't going to have him hold his own meet and all that stuff. And like I said, we didn't really talk like we talk now. So the cool thing about this now is I want to branch out. I want to do that. And I'm kind of jumping ahead and talk about his meet, and I'll go more into detail. So I'll pause there. But Lucky and Motobomb Virginia, Lucky Aces Riding and Motobomb Virginia, we've been talking, and I know I assume y'all two have been talking to each other more, but possibly the weekend before. Don't want to go into details of what Lucky wants to do that weekend, as far as why he may or may not be up in this neck of the woods, because that's his channel that he can talk about. I don't want to spoil anything, and hopefully I'm not spoiling anything now, but the plan is that the 3 of us would meet up and go for a ride somewhere like that. So the cool thing, once again, Nicole working days, I'm able to kind of get away, and I still got to take care of Fallon, of course, and make sure I'm here. But I've got, the 5 or 6 hour window where I can take a trip to Hampton or whatever, or somewhere beyond there. Hampton's about a 50-minute ride from my location, depending on what part of Hampton. So just under an hour, maybe an hour with traffic. Go ride around, get something to eat, whatever, and then my IBS will kick in, and I'll have to get the heck home. So that's kind of where I'm at. Yeah. But that puts me right in that perfect window where we can kind of, do some stuff or whatever, meet each other. And I think that'll be really cool. And it's so cool. I tell you, I go back and kind of geek out about it, but seeing Lucky's motorcycle, the Shadow, and I imagine probably won't take the Shadow up here, or maybe branch out and take something different. And I did joke with him. I think I put it in a comment. So Motobomb, if you're still here, I think you are. Yeah, I hope it works out. It was great. Lucky organized. Yeah. Okay, good. You're still here. I was joking. I just have time. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, yeah. Well, no, I'll leave it as far as your channel and all that stuff, as far as what you want to do. Um, but the three of us would meet up, and I joked with him because I'm gonna ride the Shadow. Y'all got the bigger bikes that y'all just do your thing. I'll catch you at the light. I'll catch you at the traffic light. So it's gonna be fun. No, I'm really looking forward to it. Grab something to eat, coffee. If you get coffee, I'm sure they got an energy drink there. I don't drink coffee, but I'll come hang out. Whatever y'all want to do, I'm down. I think it'll be a lot of fun. So lucky Virginia, and to slide right into the subscriber meet, which is the weekend after. I think you got. I think you said you're going to do both days, so 23rd, 24th, Saturday, Sunday. And if it rains, there's flexibility there. If it rains one day or something, or you had actually a rain out, I think it was the previous week or something, if I'm not mistaken. But either way, that's going to be a lot of fun. And I'll finally get to go do a meetup. And one thing that I was very mindful is how I want to tell you about a four alarm ride. That's right. That's exactly it. I got to go. Yeah, real busy, real busy. That's funny. Yeah, no, I appreciate Motobomb. Yeah. The subscriber meet. I've got some ideas how I want to film. I want to film my ride down there, kind of go over some stuff, but instead of breaking it to like, I think I ended up recording like the whole time when I went to Roanoke Rapids, and this is not my meetup, and this is not my meetup, so I want to be mindful, even if you say it doesn't matter. I'm being mindful. Like I'm going down there. I'm filming the process of going down there, and I might take a video of like the bikes and stuff like that. But I want this to be, like just like everybody else, like just going to meet Lucky. I know Lucky. I've met him before, and I think it's gonna be cool. And this is what I was gonna joke about, because I know you have anxiety. Or you're anxious, or your social meter is going to deplete, and I'm so looking forward to just watching your face as the day wears on. It's going to be fun. I'm not gonna pick on you. I'm gonna let you do your thing, but trust me, I'll be watching it. It's gonna be funny. To me, it's gonna be hilarious. But I've already thought about ways like to instead of recording the whole time, I've got my mic 2 in the helmet, and I'll internally record that, because if I record and then stop the camera, then it automatically shuts off the mic. And then if I record the camera again, the mic doesn't automatically turn on, and I can't access it and all that other stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to record on the mic, and then I was detach it, unpair it to the camera so it records internally, and I can just turn the mic on and off. And it has enough runtime where it's a 3.5 hour trip. It has enough runtime. I think it's like six plus hours or something, where I can film the whole time down there. And I actually have aspirations like where I'll have 2. So in case one fails, I'll have this one, and then the other one will be charged. And then I can put this one, both these charging, while I have one that I'm just, maybe for the ride or something. But I want to make it, instead of like 3 videos down there, like I did this last go around, then it was a podcast, and then it was a ride back, lunch and a ride back. I think I want to make it like one video. That's what I'm kind of thinking. I'm toying at that idea, and be more structured, where it's just the ride, just the meetup, and then maybe another video on the way back or something or whatever. And that way I can just, instead of deviating between conversation about, the meetup and the podcast or whatever, or in this case, the ride down there being the longest ride I've ever taken, the most miles, the most hours, because it's 3.5 there. It's a 45-minute ride, I think you were saying, lunch, and then a 45-minute, or excuse me, then 3.5 hours back. So it's going to be eight plus hours, probably 8 hours of riding, and X amount of miles in one day. So a lot of riding, but that's what I want to do. And it'll be cool to edit it where I don't have 8 hours of footage to comb through, because that's kind of what I messed myself up last time. But I'm going there as that's why I kind of want was it South Oz? Did you do that South Oz? I think you did it too, where you didn't want to film a lot because it wasn't your thing. You were just there. That's why I wanted. I don't know how to word it. I want to be a part of it. I don't want to be like overshadow. That's the most basic without beating around the bush, I want to go there as a subscriber or friend or whatever you want to say, a subscriber of you, to meet you and just to have a meetup. That's what I want to do. I'm dancing around it, but that's exactly what I want, how I want to say it. So I'll just be blunt, not overshadow. I want to be a part of it. So that's why I think it'll be limited me recording. I don't know how I'm going to do it. Maybe I'll go by, with a camera, and because I like getting all the bikes, I think that'd be a cool shot. But as far as like interacting and actually having conversations with you and everybody else that shows up, I don't think I'll film that. Bunch of people just walking around with helmets on, recording everything. Yeah. Let's see. I might get a haircut between now and then. I don't know yet. Let me catch up. So that's a busy 2 weekends. It was really cool to meet for the first time in the flesh, right, in person, and to see his bike. That's what I was saying, like to see the bike for the first time. You watch it all the time. I hear Motobomb Virginia's bike as he lets off the throttle, and hear the pops and all that stuff, and it'll be cool to like see that bike in person. I might even wash my bike before I do it. Let's see where we at. Yeah, and then Lucky organizing everything as far as that. And I told him, like, I'm completely down with whatever. That's why I texted him. I was like, man, I still haven't looked at it. I said, I'm just how busy I've been. And then in between was overtime days. And even today was my second day off, but it was my first real day off where there's no overtime. And I still took Fallon to the training. We went up and saw one of the ladies up there was talking about bring Fallon. So I said, all right, I'm coming back tomorrow. So even when I wasn't working, I still showed up. To see. Hope it all works out. Okay, I'm here the whole time. Till work, you have 4 alarm. Oop, I just scrolled and it moved. Yeah, we'll all have a blast. Easy going. Yeah. No, it's gonna be fun. It's just, I don't know. I think it's cool, and I never thought I would. Well, without YouTube, I don't think I would do this. Not just meeting random people, but like go to meets and stuff. I think this is cool. It branches. As social as I am, I mentioned before, I'm definitely a big homebody. I don't know if anybody. I always say I'm going to proofread the comment first, but I trust you guys. I don't know if anyone has noticed, but our friend Lucky Aces is slowly getting better with social awkward thing. Yeah, hats off to him for achieving that. Absolutely. I tell you, Lucky, you're pretty funny. I don't know if you realize that or give yourself credit, but you're pretty funny. I like your humor. Your videos are pretty spot on. And I'm sure you don't give yourself enough credit, which is fine. Being humble is a good thing, but it's actually you're pretty funny. I enjoy your humor, your videos. But I'll get back to the comments. I'm really looking forward to watching that social meter deplete. No, I probably won't. You'll be fine. Yeah, hammer out the details this weekend. Absolutely. I'm around. Oh, and you did say that. So I work Friday, Sunday this week. I'm off Saturday. But I can, between calls or between whatever we're doing at work, I can definitely get into it. Mike says, Lucky gets groupies now. Absolutely. Oh, he's been killing it, honestly. He has been killing it. I saw, what is it? Let me see how much. I looked that up the other day. Where is... Eight thousand 180 subscribers. Let's see. I was gonna show. What was it? I'll share the screen. That's the first thing you want to see. You got your mug right there. Where is my pass? 3.9. There it is. 3.9 million views. That's hilarious. The Amazon, the throttle lock. Actually, that was funny. I think you made a couple videos on that. This thing's gonna kill me. I think it was decelerating, and then you figured out like exactly how it worked. It was pretty decent. But that's cool, man. That's really cool, man. Good for you. That's really cool. Nah, I root for all y'all. It's fun. I really like that. Oh, and speaking of, let's see where South Oz, not North Oz. North Oz Moto has 0 subs right now, but South Oz is about to hit 1,000. I saw that. You were at 975, 985, 986. I saw that. I was peaking. I'm trying to watch when you hit the 1,000. That's awesome. That's a really big milestone. I mean, that's crazy. They say like, imagine 1,000 people, in a auditorium and stuff like that. That's really cool. Yeah, South Oz. I'll be on that group ride in spirit. Absolutely. I would love to go to Australia sometime. Rent a bike. That's probably asking a lot. Rent a bike. I remember Restless Mule. He went on a vacation, family vacation, and he rented a bike for the morning. He's like, I got this just for a little bit, real quick. I'll be right back. I swear. Let's see. He said, that's awesome. South Oz. Confidence on camera versus in person are two different things. I'll be watching. Ditto, I need a bike wash too. Bug guts. It just means you ride it. This means you ride it. Spoke in the eye. Message retracted. I have no idea what you said. Are you doing that? It's okay if you're doing that. I hope. I don't have anything where it's blocked. We can all meet in my StreamYard room to chat together. All I have to do is send a link and we can chat when it's convenient. Just an idea. Yeah, I'm down. Motobomb, Virginia, all day Saturday. All day Saturday. So if that's a day that you want to do and y'all want to pick, put up some Google Maps and all that stuff, and we can rock that out. I'm down. Before I speak, I've already spoken. Yes, completely free. Nothing on the calendar. Wife is getting another tattoo on Friday. I am not. Let's see. Yeah, I'm down. All day Saturday. You tell me what works best for the two of y'all. I can be there. I get off at 7 a.m. and I will stay awake. Probably drink a Monster. I have both your numbers. I was thinking a group text might be easiest. I'm down for that too. It doesn't matter. Hardest 14 subs I've ever tried to get. Dude, I'm telling you. It'll get there. You'll be like teetering back and forth. I remember when I hit it, I recorded, I did was it snipping tool? So I recorded my screen and I was at like 999 or 998 or something, and I just let it record for like hours. I mean, I think it was like 6 or 8 hours, and it went to 1,000. And you can watch it live, so the numbers like, it goes from 999 trickles down to 1,000, like a slot machine. And I ended up recording it and making that one of the intros, or the intro for the 1,000 subscriber thing. It'll be there. Spoke to now before it's redacted. My last message was concurring with South Osmoto, saying I'll be in the group Rise in Spirit, even though we are on the same continent. Aren't on the same continent. Which meant, I think that's, yeah, because Spoke in the Eye, you're in Canada, unless you've been fibbing the whole time. Spoke in the Eye is the other Canadian. 2 Canadians. And South Oz is in Australia. I'm working Saturday, unfortunately, or are you talking about chat room? I can ride Sunday or Monday. Yeah. We'll figure it out. I'm free all day Saturday, and I can get text Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday and Sunday will be a little crazy on text. I'm on the engine on paper right now. I'm on the engine on Friday. I'll be driving, so I will not text and drive. But I say that because if a call comes out, I'm gone for like 30 minutes versus like an hour and 15 minutes. I'm on the medic. So I'll have more free time on Friday, and Sunday I'll probably be back on the medic. Maybe not. I don't know yet. Understood. Spoke. Yeah. Yeah, Motobomb Virginia, the best StreamYard live stream on the internet. Absolutely. Yeah, man. I tell you. Yeah, I was wondering, spoke to Moto. I was wondering if it was every time you were putting something, it was retracting. Okay, so it's good that it stayed up this time. But yeah, it's so funny. I'll come in there. Y'all are talking about some wild things. I just kind of like, I smile. I got y'all. I got y'all on over here. I talk. So I leave comments once in a while, but that's not the only time I'm watching. I kind of just say hi and check in and stuff like that. But there's so many of y'all. You do a really good job, and it's something that I would have to like because I love talking for some reason. I get that from my mom, but you do a really really good job, Motobomb. You do a really good job of letting other people speak, as many people as you have. And I know you say that you're not the host and stuff like that. You really are. You're like the moderator. So I heard you say that like you're just one of many, in the room and stuff like that. And I get that. And once again, humble. But you definitely, if you need to have the conversation or let somebody speak or whatever, you're really good at moderating. South Osmodo, you've been on there. I've seen you on there a couple times. Hmm. That's another cool thing is watching, and that's all community based. Y'all, the channel's interacting and kind of thing. Not the collab part that I guess you can do on YouTube, but the fact that like South Oz obviously has his own channel. You watch him, and then then all of a sudden an Indian Crusader, another Australian, he's in his video, and you're like, man, I know that guy. I know that guy. It's funny. Mike, I'll be there in spirit too. I'm on the same continent, just 12 hours away. Yeah, you're Chicago, right? I'm pretty sure, Mike, you're in Chicago. You might should die. Yeah. Oh yeah. Feedback for sure, man. Oh, maybe I mean, that could be a video topic. Hey, what do y'all want to see on the lives and all this stuff? Because your live streams, and I do this once every 3 weeks, and I know your lives are, I think like what 4 days you do in the morning and one day, or 5 days in the morning, one day. I think you do 5 times, 4 days in the morning, and then one day in the evening, 7:30, I think. So obviously, people are not going to catch like every single live stream, when it comes down to that. But if you have like a video based on live stream, whether it's feedback or topics you want to handle or something like that, that'd be kind of cool. Yeah, Mike, got you. Nailed it. Noise, the Windy City. I mentioned before, and this is like a mini topic. Like, one month, I want to take a trip like cross country, and I think that'd be cool to like, hey, let everybody know, and then hey, if you want to ride around a little bit, maybe get a meal or something like that, catch up with people. Rascal's another one. I checked on him, wrote him an email, and he's doing well. He showed me some pictures of I think his shed is turning into a garage, so that's pretty cool. I know he hasn't made a video, or I don't think he's made a video in a while, so I was checking on him, yeah, how he's doing. But Rascal, or the American Outlaw, same guy, but he's in North Dakota, close to Canada. But he's doing well. He just hasn't posted anything lately. All right, what's next? I think I got one more thing. Where you at? Like mean mugging. This way, my eyes. I should be wearing glasses right now. No, I can actually see everything's bright in my face. But I I try to look at somebody off in the distance, and I'll like, looks like I'm mean mugging them. I'm really just trying to see, who is it? Do I know that guy? All right, sneak peek, episode 29. Boom, boom. Since I have look at that. Sneak peek, episode 29. The video was made 2 weeks ago, at least 2 weeks ago. It was April something, whatever. Yeah, I would say at least 2 weeks ago. Been done. I had to come up with a thumbnail, title, description, all that other stuff, and after that, it's been good. But it goes into Lucky mentions like this is never a how-to video, and I'll never make a how-to. I'll show you how not to do. Mine's more, if I do a how-to, it's more how not to do something, unless it's editing. I've got some confidence in editing, but I installed the pin lock and the chin mount, and I go over quite a bit of detail. Well, not quite a bit of detail, but I have a conversation. I start messing with the Pocket 3. I've not had that before on the channel. I've had it for months on end, so I got to film with that for the first time. That's more so like the other channel. I won't really use it for this one. But my previous helmet, I never installed the pin lock. So when I bought the helmet way back when at a Honda dealership, or when I bought the motorcycle. Wow, almost forgot how I bought the motorcycle. I bought the motorcycle on the Eastern Shore off Facebook, which I need to tell that story again on this channel, and the the Ruckus story. But I I bought the helmet and gloves the same day because I had a really cheap helmet. It was like I think I said it in my last video, it was like 99 bucks on sale. Not the best helmet to have. I bought that, rode around on a sketchy 49cc moped, and I knew I was gonna upgrade. So that's why I got the Shoei, the GT Air, the original GT Air. And the person installed the pin lock, and I bought the Senna system, which I need to get a Cardo or Senna. I'm looking at the difference of that for this trip, so at least I can have directions in my ear. I'm not, even though I bought the quad lock for the phone, for the new phone or whatever. I still trust. I don't know. I get nervous about it. It's not failed, but I don't like the way it looks on camera. First of all, I guess maybe it's a cosmetic, and the other thing is I'm uneasy because it's like as big as these phones are. It's like a sail with the wind when you're flying down the road. Oh yeah, what was that? South Hollis, good. South Hollis, have a go, man. So I go over. So that person installed the pin lock for me. They installed the Senna, like the system with the microphone, the ear, the speakers, and everything, the wires, and everything like that. And we were just joking around, having a good time. And I was picking out gloves, and the person did it. So that was nice, but at the same time, I never did it. So here we go. Fast forward 9 years later, essentially, I end up going through the process, taking my visor off for the first time. I've never taken a motorcycle visor off before because I've not needed to. The pin lock was already installed. I wasn't changing it to a tinted visor or one of those transitional visors or anything like that. So this was kind of fun, I guess, in a way to film it and do it for the first time and kind of go over little tips I saw online, little tips that I'm learning as I go. How to clean, even the proper cleaning. You shouldn't use Windex because of the chemicals in there, but glass clean, actually certified, like certified auto glass cleaner that doesn't have ammonia. That's essentially what it was. Anyway, so I go over that, have my normal video, my normal personality, and that's it. So I'll probably post that. I'm off tomorrow, so I'll probably post it tomorrow. I know the other video I think is less than 5 days old. That's kind of my window. I don't want to do it anything before 5 days. The other channel, I'm kind of in the mindset I'm just going to post whenever I want to. And I think Thursday or Friday, I'll probably upload that. All right, let me catch up here, and then we'll probably tie everything up. Oh, and I was going to say, after that, it feels like it's been a while. I got to go back to Cycle Gear. I want to look at the jackets, and that jacket's the biggest thing. Maybe boots. I'll probably order some boots online because I need some boots. May not wear motorcycle boots, but I'm gonna get some work boots. I need them for work too. But I was saying I gotta get back on the bike. I've yet to ride with the new helmet. So I gotta test the new helmet, new gloves. So that might be the next video. And I think it's supposed to rain quite a bit tomorrow. I might dance between the rain and jump out there real quick. Just rain, right? I rode in the rain a little bit, and South Hall's moto is, I know he's not here, he dipped, but he had that video where he was going through quite a bit of rain. Great to hear feedback. Yep. Sorry, definitely welcome. Right now. I think, Mike, if I'm not mistaken, I saw you either had a video, it was a while ago, a video or a short about a meetup, a bunch of bikes. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I would throw it out there way in advance, kind of, if and have my email if anybody's interested. Hit me up and go to a meeting spot and kind of fill everybody in exactly where I'd be and all that stuff. Probably get robbed and mugged and all that stuff, but whatever. Who's trying to look at it? Yeah, if you got, y'all can plug. I don't care. I don't know if it You're talking about cut and paste your channel name, all that other stuff. Do what you gotta do. Put it in there. Y'all talk. Just cut and paste my handle name and the stream so I could find your channel. Guess that's it. I don't really know. All right, moving on. Oh, okay, you already got it. All right, I caught up. Yeah, Michael Ramirez. So you show up. You show up on when Moto Alley. I feel like it's Michael Ramirez. And on mine, it's showing Mike. I don't know. Maybe it changed it. But I've seen you over on the Moto Alley's live streams and stuff like that. So maybe it wasn't you. I thought it was somebody else from Chicago. It was definitely Chicago. You don't have one. And were you did mention before that you were looking. Okay, I got you. I think I know you were asking questions about cameras before because you were looking to possibly getting into it about like motovlogs and stuff. But yeah. All right, I think that's it. I think I'm good. I got everything covered. Yep. Oh, I'll check the weather and I'll be able to tell right now. Before I dip, wrap things up. What kind of weather? Motobomb, what kind of weather we getting? 1 a.m. rain. Ooh. This is showing rain all the way to 1 p.m. Thunderstorms, 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. 100% chance of rain. Not looking good tomorrow. Rain check. No ride tomorrow. Maybe another day. So that trip will have to wait. But I do need to. I'll give you more time to do some research. Change my name so my last name wasn't on. Okay, I got you. Yeah. Okay. Duly noted. I got you. I know who you are though. Let's see. If you're talking to me for what day? Riding to Cycle Gear? Is that what you're saying? Tomorrow. Tomorrow is I think it's gonna be a wash. So I'm not gonna. Yeah, tonight's weather is not good. 11 a.m. it's gonna start raining, which is perfect timing because I'll go for a walk with Fallon, and then I'm actually gonna go to the gym. Imagine that. I'm trying to get a Lucky's level. Good for him, man. Lost a lot of weight. I gotta get back to my fighting days. All right, let's see. Yeah, so probably not tomorrow. No ride tomorrow. I might actually ride in the evening just to film something. All day tomorrow, yeah. And usually it's funny because it'll say it rains at 11, which doesn't bode well for me. It'll say it rains at 11 tonight, which then turns into like 1 when it starts raining, which pushes the rain back from, 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon to like 3 or 4. So at least it gets dark sooner or later. Excuse me. So I might still go out there just to ride because I really want to test out. I'll probably just post that video tomorrow. I really want to test out the helmet and I want to test out those gloves. The thing with the helmet is the ratchet system is cool because it's easier. You have the D-rings. It's harder to put on with the gloves, and the gloves hit the mic. Sorry. The gloves that I have should be a limiter. Should be, yeah, no clipping, no peeking. But the gloves I have now are thicker. And the ratchet system is nice because I can put it on with, just sliding it in. But the D-rings, I had a lot more room. And one thing I looked online is they were saying like the ratchet, what actually holds like under your chin is like rubbing on people's like Adam's apple. So it's like it's out all the way and it's just right there. I'm like, let's do a little more cardio. That's what I'll do. Get in shape. I'll get right. 0 sugar. Started watching you guys from seeing Lucky and Tim's channel, me and my shadow. Yeah, way back in the day, right? I got you. Way back when. Let's see. I think that's it. Yeah, so I'll try to ride tomorrow. I really want to ride, to be honest with you. It's been a few days, obviously all these work days and stuff. And the other day I took the bike, and work is such a crapshoot, just because there's certain things. Not to get into too much, but well, I'll put in quotation. I'm qualified to drive the ladder truck. It's a specialty piece, so they don't just throw people in because it's a ladder truck that has 2 people. So one person is a tiller. They drive the back, the bendy truck I talk about. and then the other person's obviously in the front. So if they don't have a person to fill in that spot, it was me and another guy at my station would go over there, would just kind of alternate or whatever. Well, that guy has since resigned from the department for good reasons. I'm in the middle of thinking of a really good story rumor to make it to make it a bad reason. He's in jail or something. But he left. Great guy, great friend of mine. Unfortunate, big hit, big loss to the station, the department, and just in general. Great person to be around, big helper around the station. So that was nice. But it's got me swinging over there to drive the ladder a lot. 3 times the last cycle. Last cycle 3 times, and there's 7 days in a cycle. So I was over there. People kept going home sick. Well, the reason I tell you all that is because I rode the motorcycle to work, and I ended up taking a different truck, a different fire department apparatus over there, which I don't like to do because then it ties that. They can't use that for what they need it for. But at the same time, I kind of really didn't have a choice. I don't want to take, I did it in the past. I would load up my gear. I'd put a helmet in one saddlebag, my face piece in another. Excuse me. I would put my my turnout boots and bunker pants. You pull them down around the boots, like straddle the sissy bar, the pillion seat. Back when I used to have that all the time, I take my coat, wrap that around the top, and then take a bungee cord and wrap it all around with a book bag, and a sleeping bag slid between the straps. I mean, I was like hunched all the way over. Not that it was too far to go to, but it was still very uncomfortable and dangerous. And the last time I did it, I had to ride it to my truck was in the shop. Previous truck was all broken down. And it was in a shop, and I had to go to the academy, and I did everything I just said without the sissy bar and essentially no bungee cord. So that was a little sketchy. And going over the Jordan Bridge and close to 200 feet up in the air, and then coming down and around the twist and all that stuff. And I was just like, man, I just wasn't feeling it. Not feeling it. Didn't want anything to get hung up in the back tire and go down because of something stupid like that. So I've not ridden the bike nearly as much. Honestly, the last probably couple of years, the least amount of riding to work, because there's just such a good chance that I'm an acting officer. I might have to go to another station to act, or just stay at my station is fine. But having a swing more than my normal swing day, we take turns on that. So there's no place like home. Here's home. There's no place like home away from home. That's my fire station. So swinging to other stations is fun. You get to see new people, get new environments, all that other stuff, get to learn some stuff, even what not to do. But at the same time, when you have your own bed away from your bed here at home, your own everything, your own truck, your own run area, comfortable around your crew, all that other stuff, you just a lot of pros to that. We'll leave that alone. That's enough. I'll stop talking. I'm going for a walk with the dog. Thank you all very much, very much for being here. Have plenty of conversation to go to bounce ideas. One of my favorite things about this is obviously y'all. I said I would stream to nobody, but it would be about 20 minutes, and not because I would just leave frustrated or mad, but I would go over. I always want to have topics to go over. So Rearview, Lucky Virginia, subscriber meet, sneak peek, episode 29. I always want to have that, because I have something to say every 3 weeks. Well, I have something to say every day. Not necessarily worthwhile, but moving on. I have something to say, and I'll say it, and I'll dip if nobody's here. But the cool thing about this is I just happened to look at the time when I was trying to stay on task, on target, and it was like 52 minutes into the conversation, or since I went live, and I was just like going back and forth with y'all, and y'all going back and forth with each other. So I love that. I would love for if it was an hour and a half and I squeezed in quick 20 minutes, that's even better of what I have to say, because I enjoy talking to y'all even more so than going over these topics here. So yep, absolutely. Y'all take care. Have a great night. Be safe, and enjoy the ride. Oh wow, that almost came out flawless. I didn't even mean to say it. That's my thing. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. Y'all take care. See y'all. Some of y'all, I'll see you soon. And Moto Alley, Playback King,